Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be going over some strategies I've come across in Speedrunning Minecraft 1.16.1 Java Edition, specifically the Bastion remnants that have been added in this last patch. So I'm just going to be commenting over 4 of my replays of little practice looting runs of these 4 different structures. So here's a typical example of what my inventory would look like in a speed run going into this bastion, and I'll just time it from this one block from start to finish. I was able to do all 4 of the different structures in under 4 minutes, and I'll talk about the items I get out of them afterwards. This first structure is called bridges. Each bastion remnant will always spawn as one of 4 different structures. The bridge structure is nice because there's always this pile of 16 gold blocks at the end of the bridge, guaranteed. And it's pretty hard for piglins to get you from here. The melee ones get high enough, and the ranged ones have pretty low range and kind of low damage. So the idea here is to kind of get all these gold blocks as quickly as possible and begin trading them off with piglins while you loot the rest of the bastion. By the time you come back, all their trades should be about done. So after getting all those gold blocks on the bridge, you want to head over to the 2 ramparts that are on either side of it. Get as many chests as you can, and start trading as quick as possible. I try to put the gold in a position where they're not just going to throw items off the edge. I try to make sure that before I open any chest, the piglins near me aren't aggroed onto me. What I'm looking for in the chests is definitely arrows, first off. I always like to have a stack of string. Any obsidian is good, and any gold armor that I'm not already wearing. So after I'm done with one side of the ramparts, I'll head over to the other, and there's 2 chests over here. These ramparts are sometimes flipped, and you won't always get the same top structure every single time. So it kind of takes a little bit of knowledge to get here and know where the chests are and when you can open them safely. So that's all the chests on the upper part. There are a few random chests and gold blocks around the bottom of the ramparts if you really go inside them, but since you already got 16 gold blocks and you get 5 chests total here, it gives you pretty much all you need from the structure for the speed run. So what I'm looking for from the trades here, ender pearls, definitely you'll need at least 12 to finish the game. Any more you get can be used to speed up your travel from one point to another. I'm also looking for at least 10 obsidian, which can be used to make an exit portal to get to the stronghold faster. Any potions of fire resistance are pretty nice in the nether, and also against the blaze fight. So I'm looking for at least 2 to 3 of those potions. And I definitely want a stack of string, which gives you 1 bow, and then you can turn the rest into 5 beds. Glowstone can be used to increase your arrow count by turning them into spectral arrows. And I get a couple other building blocks just so I can move around faster. So I'll get to my starting block over the top here. And yeah, so I ran this one in under 4 minutes. Here's my ending inventory, so got about 30 ender pearls, at least 10 obsidian, stack of string, fire resistance potions, glowstone, and a couple building blocks. So yeah, that was my favorite one. Bridges could be done pretty reliably. It's pretty consistent. So yeah, we'll go on to the next one. Alright, so the second structure here is called Treasure Room. Again, pretty similar inventory from before. Treasure Room is my second favorite one, is because it's pretty consistent. Everything is pretty much in the exact same spot every time. The reason I bring a lava bucket into the nether is mainly for this reason. Sometimes piglins are too close to you and you don't have any gold on you when starting. You can get them with lava. They don't consider lava as player damage, so it's an easy way to take them out so they don't aggro on you. Treasure room is interesting because I completely skipped the actual treasure room portion of it. It's just kind of dangerous with the slime spawner or the magma cube spawner, and the loot in the bottom is kind of late game, like diamond stuff, which you don't really need in the speedrun. And there's just plenty of gold hidden in these walls in the ramparts of treasure room. So you kind of have to do this a few times to get the hang of exactly where these gold blocks are hidden in this wall. They're right above the room with the chests in them, and both ramparts are identical, and they're the same every time. So you can go down to this wall behind the room with chests in it, get the stuff from the chests, and just try to trade your gold as quickly as possible, so when you come back you'll have all the items you need. Now I'll go back up to the top, go over to the other rampart. Happens to be some lava here, which is inconvenient, but that happens. And it'll do the exact same thing over here. So these gold blocks hidden in the wall they generate in the exact same spots every time. They're not guaranteed to be there. So this is the only Bastion remnant I know of that has gold blocks that are kind of RNG, but they're in the same positions. So even if some of them aren't there, you still get plenty of gold to do all your trades, get everything you need. So here I'll just repeat and go down to the chest room below. And get the items out of here. So again, I just make sure I have enough arrows. The route I'm taking here only gets 4 chests total, but you do get at least 10 gold blocks, usually more. So as long as you have enough arrows, and you can always get a little bit of glowstone from these guys to increase your arrow count, you should get all the pearls and obsidian and string that you need. Again, I spread out. I try to look for ender pearls first and spread them out in my inventory so that they automatically group in there. 4 is probably too many stacks. I think 2 or 3 is plenty for speedrun. Sometimes I've done 4. So I'm just making sure I have enough obsidian. I think I needed maybe 1 more there. Then I'm going to go back out to my starting spot. And it's time. So got a 339. We'll pause here on my inventory. It's about the same time as the previous one. Again, at least 10 obsidian, at least a couple fire resistance potions. I only got about 20 ender pearls here, but that's still plenty to get around the map quickly and still have enough for the end. And you get plenty of building blocks off of this as well, and a full stack of arrows. So yeah, we'll go to the next one. Alright, so this third one is called the housing units Bastion remnant structure. Similar inventory. This time I was messing around with TNT. You can use some TNT on this strategy if you have a desert temple, but you could do it without. This is an interesting one because, again, I'm avoiding the core of this structure by not even going into the housing units themselves, and just try and go immediately to the spot where I know there's 9 gold blocks. So it takes a little bit of practice identifying which rampart is which and knowing where the 9 gold blocks are, but if you could get this quickly and just barricade yourself off with 2 blocks, you can get 9 gold blocks with no issues. It's also fairly close to an underground room here where there's a double chest, so it's just convenient that you can go in and get all these things really quickly. An interesting thing about the Piglin's aggro timer is it's 30 seconds, and it doesn't refresh usually. So if you start mining gold blocks there, and a Piglin is aggroed on you, you can continue mining and opening chests, and after that initial first 30 seconds, they won't be aggroed anymore. So you can kind of time this portion of the run so that, you know, Piglins won't be aggressive and you can start trading pretty easily. This is also the best rampart structure of the housing units. The top ramparts are different from time to time, so you won't always get this 3 chests on each side, but this one just happens to be 2 identical ramparts up top. Pretty easy to find these chests and trade. So again, just making sure I have enough arrows from these chests is the main thing. A lot of times you'll get some obsidian, which will help speed things up because obsidian is kind of the least likely of the trades from the Piglins. Again, there's some random gold blocks and single chests around. But I mean, once you get these 9 gold blocks, that's typically enough. There's also a spot in this area where there's 3 gold blocks if you need some extra. So obsidian is usually the limiting piece here, so I'm just making sure I have all 10. So I believe I actually got all the ender pearls. I got a lot of ender pearls from here and all the obsidian. I just happen to be missing potions of fire resistance, which aren't critical here, so I could just leave, but I find it pretty helpful for using ender pearls around the nether. So if this was a real run, I would probably wait a bit longer and make sure that I had at least 1 potion, so that if I accidentally hit lava, I'd still be okay. Alright, so we'll pause here, but yeah, so no potions of fire resistance. Typically I would have it at least 2 or 3 from trades. I just randomly happen to not get any. I could wait a bit longer with the rest of the gold and probably get 1. But a ton of ender pearls, enough obsidian. Also a little low on string and glowstone here, so if I didn't have enough arrows, you would want more glowstone. But pretty good run. I mean, this one I like a good amount. The top ramparts can be a little bit messy sometimes, and you definitely have to completely avoid the lower housing unit section. But those 9 gold blocks can be mined pretty quickly, and you could get a lot of arrows. Alright. This last structure is called Hoglin Stables. It's my least favorite in general because Hoglin Stables themselves are difficult to move around in. A lot of hoglins, a lot of lava and random holes. And the ramparts that spawn, which is all that I use here, have a lot of variability, so they're kind of different each time. So this one I happen to get the 10 gold block structure. It has a chance of not spawning at all, and so you won't see these 10 blocks anywhere, and so you kind of won't get enough gold to effectively do this trade, and you might have to just reset. But more than half the time you'll get this structure to spawn, and there's 4 gold blocks in that one area, and there's 6 hidden under here. Again, I try to get these as quickly as possible and start trading. Get the Piglin's aggro timer to go down as quick as I can. So that's about it for the gold blocks. The ramparts, again, the top parts will be different, so sometimes you get a lot of chests, sometimes you get a few. You kind of have to know how to recognize which ones. So far I've seen 4 different top rampart structures for the Hoglin Stables. So yeah, again, just trying to get arrows mainly from these chests and obsidian. Here I go in the actual Hoglin stables themselves, just to kind of skip over to this other section, but I kind of avoid the Hoglin stables area as much as I can. They just knock you off in the lava easily. Yeah, I'm really just trying to find the first group of 4 or more piglins in one area that I can trade with, just to get that done quickly. It's kind of the limiting factor. Sometimes you get unlucky and spawn in Soul Sand Valley. It just kind of happens. So this right ramparts can sometimes spawn exactly like the housing units. So you get these 3 chests right here. The same strategy as before. So this one is pretty light on arrows. There's some random single chests and single gold blocks below these structures, but they're not really worth going down to get. So this one I only got 29 arrows. So if you get a stack of glowstone, you can make spectral arrows and bump that up to maybe 40 or 50 arrows, which is usually enough for the end dragon fight. So here I've got enough pearls and obsidian. I usually like to stick around and trade all of my gold blocks in an actual run, so that I can get string and glowstone. Be pretty confident I don't need anything else for the end fight. But yeah, I think Bastion Remnants are a great addition. I've been having a lot of fun speedrunning them. Doing all these in under 4 minutes, typically takes me a bit longer in a real run, just to be sure and safe. But I think there's a big reward from it. It takes some practice getting used to them, but I think when you do them safely and get all these items, it's pretty huge. So yeah, these are all the Bastion Remnants in under 4 minutes. Thanks for watching.